Okay, we're live. Go ahead, Scott.
In today's episode, we learn, yo, the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. And 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody! Welcome to Quality Time with Family Ties. I am one of your hosts, Scott Jones. Joining me, as always, Mr. Paul Fackler. Paul, how are you?
I'm feeling so much better. I tried to not drink caffeine, and then I gave that right up, and I feel so much better.
I saw on Facebook that you posted that you couldn't keep your thoughts together and everything. I was like, man, it's going to be so much fun doing an episode with you today. And then I saw that you drank an energy ball. Corey's with us. How are you, Corey?
Couldn't be better. Just terrific. Fabulous. Great. Just wonderful.
Wait, Corey, the phasing out what you were saying sort of flew in the face of the words you were saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm great. Everything's fine. This episode, we have not said word one to each other about this episode. And I have money on this. No, thank God, Paul. If you thought this was not good.
Yeah.
Okay,
I knew Paul would not like this one either.
Very middle of the road, very mediocre episode.
It felt
Episodes lately. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Scott.
well. It just felt like something that that's been reoccurring this season is inside the episode. There's something that is really good, and they just abandon it. Paul, what were you going to say?
I don't even know if they abandon it per se. I feel like the problem is jokes in this episode. It feels like they have a skeleton of a plot line, and then all of the jokes are placeholders for better jokes.
Yeah.
Like if you read the script and it would say insert joke here, and then they went back and they just put like their first slug line in, whatever they could figure out, and they never went back another time. That was it. It's really bad.
It feels like they were in the writer's room, and then one of them ran in and said, "Lobsters, boys. We got to do something with lobsters."
And
that's the worst part. That whole plot line doesn't even make sense.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you. I don't understand. Why did they have to bring home all the lobsters? They're fucking crustaceans. They're in their shell. They could have rolled around in sand for 4 minutes, and then you still pick them up, put them in a pot of boiling water, you got clean lobster. You eat the inside, and to begin with, they're bottom feeders. They're fucking bottom feeders, lobsters.
Corey, obviously you are not a David Foster Wallace fan, and you should have read his nonfiction essay, Consider the Lobster, in which he talks about the ethics and morality of eating lobsters.
Fuck him! I love lobster!
Lobster is good.
It's really good. I love lobster.
It is. It's so good.
But the problem is that this is our B plot throughout the episode. Just quickly, let's cover the. All right, Scott, do you want to do the title of the episode, and then we'll start?
I hated this episode so much, I forgot to write down the title. What's the title?
Mr. Right.
And
Okay.
it should be a reference to My Fair Lady, and we'll get into that some more, too. I agree with you, Scott.
Thank you. So if you're playing along at home, we are on Season 4, Episode 8, entitled Mr. Right. And this whole episode goes so wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So the problem is that they take Nick out to dinner, or he invites himself along, or Mallory invites him along to dinner at... Wait.
Not Guido's. Not Guido's.
The Lobster Pot.
The Lobster Pot. And so once they're there, and this all happens off screen because God forbid they build another set.
Yeah. We got the shoe store already, Paul.
Yeah. When they bring over the pot of lobsters, Nick wants to save them all, and so he orders all of them to take them home and free them, but they never do. In fact, they start cooking them as soon as they get home, and Nick seems fine with it. What the hell is going on?
Yeah. Now, wait, I have a question about that, Paul. Did Nick order them all to free them, or did he just start freeing them?
It seems as though he was just freeing the lobsters from the tank. Like he was reaching his hand in the tank, picking up lobsters and putting them on the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
And this shit isn't even clear. We don't know if he ordered them or just started freeing them. At least if he had ordered them, it would make a little bit of sense why they're dragging them all home.
Right.
But still.
We ordered them and we prepared them for you, so you have to take them home. What, of course, would have been funnier would have been to-go boxes, somehow or another, coming in with stacks of to-go boxes. Then we would know they're to-go. It seemed like it was like the net that they caught. It just makes no sense.
Well, Corey,
and they're incessant with this B plot. They're incessant with it. It never stops.
Well, Corey, if you're going to go to the lobster part, you got to realize it is fresh lobster. I mean, it's right off the boat, Maine lobster.
Fresh off the boat of Ohio. And driven to Ohio.
Yep.
They start this first scene off in. I knew the second this episode started, that it was downhill, because they did one of their cliche things of once again insisting that Jennifer be a tomboy and Alex be an athlete.
Yes, I was about to get into that.
Yes. Upon it. And it's like, stop it already. The poor Tina Yothers is having a hard time acting tomboy at this point.
Yeah.
And you're never going to convince me that teeny, tiny, he looks like he has asthma. He doesn't look like he can do a 3-point shot. It's Alex B. Keaton, for God's sake.
Yes.
Athlete.
And it's basketball of all sports. This is like, back me up, guys. As a short person, this is the one sport you stay away from. You know you have no chance of ever enjoying or competing in that sport.
Correct.
Yeah. And Tina Yothers is I think taller than Michael J. Fox at this point.
Mm-hmm. And they never even bring that up. Of all the things that they talk about, she's like, I'm tougher, I'm faster, I'm smarter, and then she never goes, and I'm taller, which she is.
Right, which would have been funny.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, so we had this at the beginning. Already off to a bad track. And so Nick comes over to pick up Mallory, apparently to go out, but Mallory then later says, "Oh, I'm going out with my parents for dinner. Why don't you join?" Like, why the fuck was he over there?
I caught that one too, and it made no sense. That's exactly how it transpired, and I'm not sure nobody caught that they would. I came over to go out, but she was going out already with her parents. So did Mallory double book, and then she had to invite Nick to come along? They could have said, I came out over to ask you if you want to go. Are you free to go out tonight? No, I'm sorry, I'm going. But I guess they wanted to find some way of getting Nick to go to the lobster pot so they could have the scene take place off camera that we never see.
It's such a wreck.
Yeah, of all the scenes we could have seen in this episode that would be interesting, seeing Nick ordering all of the lobsters would have been interesting.
Absolutely.
That's your third act. If you're going to go along with this line, that's your third act at the lobster pot where he's trying to free all the lobsters. That would have been great.
Man. And then this scene also features one of the most obvious jokes that they then set up so heavy-handed and then punch you in the face with it just the way you expect it to go. The gritting the teeth joke.
Yeah, you see that coming a mile away.
Oh, yeah, now they're gritting their teeth. Whenever they see, what are you talking about, Mallory? Yeah, whenever they see you, they grit their teeth, and they're always talking behind gritted teeth. I never noticed that before. Hi, how are you? If he had coming around the corner, they didn't miss a beat on this joke with the setup and the punchline, and it was almost like right in my face.
Yeah, and they didn't miss a beat, and then when they did get that beat, they beat it to death.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They were like, "We got a beat, do it again."
Yeah, that's this
episode.
Yeah, this whole episode, they just consistently find an unfunny joke and then do it 5 times, and that happens every season.
Yeah,
You're correct, and I never noticed that because, of course, you say that now, and I immediately think of the shoe store scene, which is just a complete and total anal rape. That scene is so awful.
You heard it here first, folks. Corey has compared a scene in Family Ties to anal rape.
Oh, so awful, that scene. And the minute you said they beat a joke to death, I thought of that scene. Because that's all that scene.
It's true. That scene is a low point for the series, I would say.
It's just so god awful.
I hate to jump the gun on that. I had so many problems with that scene. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. So they go we off camera, they have this debacle of a lobster dinner. They come back home. Steven and Elise are upset. Mallory's trying to defend Nick. And Steven drags in a whole net full of lobster to emphasize, the joke. And once the family's gone, Nick is left with Alex. And basically, he asks Alex, I need some help. I want your parents to like me. What can I do? How can I be more like you? And that's when we have our cliche My Fair Lady premise of change me, Alex. Make me more like you.
Oh, God! And now we're in a swirling cesspool going down the drain.
Yeah. Now, once again, this episode is so lazy. So they've established that Nick wants Alex to teach him how to be more like Alex. However, after this scene, they don't see each other again once Nick becomes like Alex.
There's no process. And
Nope.
that at least would have been a little bit funnier.
Of him teaching him, the teaching scenes.
Yes, that or setting it. Yeah, and then you build up to the lobster thing, and then he has to be himself. That would have been at least way better. Oh, Corey, just to shout out some shout outs on Twitter. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, Corey!" in regards to your anal rape comment.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I just said that you've gone nuclear, Corey.
Yeah. Which we love. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Paul. They don't see each other after this. There's no follow-through on the premise that they're setting up right here.
No, not at all. And so what Alex says to Nick is that you just have to dress better, you have to talk in multisyllabic sentences and all that kind of stuff. And that's where we leave it. That's like the end of his lesson.
That's it. And I also just want to add, I'm getting sick of the Alex little buddy joke that they're running into the ground every episode.
Every episode. Yep.
It was cute at first, and now stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So we cut to the next day in the living room.
I'm stopping you right there. Scott.
Okay.
I'm gonna take off my glasses.
Ooh, okay. This is serious.
This is roll serious.
Okay. I'm leaning in.
We start in the living room with a close-up of Elise Keaton and Andy Keaton, the baby.
Oh, yes.
In this close-up, Elise is talking baby talk to Andy for 30 fucking seconds. This scene goes on. It's like interminable of just like this is this number 2 show in America, and she's going. Oh
yes, you will. Oh yes. I so want as an experiment to do that for 30 seconds on this show, but I do not want to subject our listeners to that.
What's Maisie's one? Well, she'll make her debut on the show.
We'll do it then, but.
For 30 seconds and see how interesting that is to anybody.
Daddy'll be sitting here. So in the next scene, yeah.
Why was that even necessary? Why did they need to go so long?
You had just for the joke of you're raising another Alex, and now you need to stop.
Yep.
Which Mallory delivers very well, I think, but it goes on. Yeah, you're right. It goes on for too long, and once again, we're thinking. I got back up. Our listeners are so done with the little buddy joke.
Totally.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But again, this appears to be something like for Mallory and Nick, and they cut Mallory very much out of this episode. They won't give Mallory much of an episode, which is really frustrating.
This is her relationship with Nick, but it quickly becomes about his relationship with Steven.
Right. She's completely cut out of this. Yeah. Yeah. And so once the baby talk is over, there is a knock on the door, and it is the new Nick, dressed in a
Physical transformation that way.
I didn't even recognize him.
I know. I think it was the wig. I think the wig is what did it.
Yeah. Yeah. He's in a suit, his hair is combed, and he still speaks like a moron.
Well, he's speaking like he's in a Damon Runyon novel where he refuses to use contractions. So it's like, hello, I am here to pick up Mallory so that we can eat. To see you.
What is your thoughts on the situation?
Right.
Yeah.
Nathan, when is the crap game?
Yeah, I don't know. It's robotic. It's just, and it goes on forever like this. And then it gets dropped. Like by the time we get to the shoe store, that whole presentation thing gets dropped. He's back to talking like regular Nick, but dressed nice.
Right. Mallory almost faints upon seeing this new Nick, except it's the worst fake fainting I've ever seen.
Yes.
Worse than Hillary Clinton's?
Yeah. I don't know. I think Hillary pulled it off. I thought that looked really good.
A very convincing job.
It was pretty impressive. It was pretty impressive.
It was like watching that thing. It was like, oh, she does look that's a little scary. Her legs, she had no legs there for a few moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was bad.
That's not the best video you want if you're a Democratic fan.
Ooh.
It's a bad foot forward.
2 stumbles back.
But you know what? It'll all even out when Donald Trump speaks to the insightful questions of Dr. Mehmet Oz tomorrow morning.
Oh yeah, you're looking forward to that.
this
I can't wait to hear that.
I can't wait to see Donald Trump. What probing questions Mehmet Oz will be asking?
How many of his products do you think he's gonna try to sell during the Q&A?
Oh.
Well, his steaks, have absolutely no cholesterol, Scott. So you could probably get a Trump steak, and with your cholesterol issue,
Thank you.
take care of that.
Yeah. Come to find, not to go into detail, but come to find, I googled like what's considered high cholesterol, and mine is very, very minimal. Like extremely
What are you
minimal.
numbers? What are you at?
The main number is 225.
Okay, it's a little high.
A little.
It's not. As a man who had a heart attack, largely because he paid no attention to his cholesterol,
Yes.
my cholesterol when I had my heart attack was about 350, 375.
Yeah, that's big time.
That's scary high. If I had ever known at the
Right.
time that it was, I would have something
No.
about it. But now it's maintained by drugs at 175. So
Right.
Wow.
But yeah.
you just have to cut out a burger a week and you're okay.
Yeah, just it's a lot of sodium and stuff like that I can easily cut out. But the doctor wanted to schedule a whole nother appointment for me to sit down and talk to him, and he could collect money. So anyway.
No, thank you. Both you and the doctor have better things to do with your time
Paul, how's your cholesterol?
and money.
Always eat avocados and drink 5-hour energy drinks, so
There
I'm
you go.
fine.
It balances out, right? The
Is
high
that
caffeine and
your
the avocados.
Look at that. Look. Ooh.
Yeah. You are feeling so good right now after that drink.
You're gonna want to, gang. You're gonna want to watch me on YouTube right now because I am dancing sexy. There you go.
Yeah,
That's for the kids.
That's for the kids. Where were we in this?
Glasses, so he wouldn't have to watch that.
Okay,
That's right. The man who spoke of his scene being like an anal rape. Like delicate sensibility.
Yeah, you're a shrinking violet.
Yeah.
Have we got to the end of this act yet? For God's sake.
Oh, for God's sake.
We're so close. We're so close.
And Mallory have a talk, and then Nick and Steven have a talk, and that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Nick, yeah, they come in. Nick does his whole presentational thing. The family goes upstairs. Steven comes in, doesn't even recognize Nick, is impressed by him. And then Mallory comes in and wants to talk to him, and he says, "I'm doing this because I love you," and she's kind of flattered by that, and that's the end of this scene.
Mm-hmm.
And does that get us to commercial? Oh,
No,
we'll
get this to commercial. Is Steven sits down with Nick, and Nick is like, "Excuse me, I've wanted to talk with you about this topic for some time now."
yes.
And he goes, "I've recently learned that the sun is going to explode in 2 billion years. What can we as citizens do?" And then it's probably the funniest joke in the whole episode. I'm sure it is the funniest joke in the whole episode.
Yeah.
It cuts to Steven, and they don't give him a punchline before the commercial. They totally dump it.
You're right.
I thought it was a really funny joke because anytime that you could say something like, "What can we as citizens do?" to me, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like an improv. You're tossing the ball to your scene partner. Here you go, and
Knock it out of
nothing
the park.
Yeah.
And the writers don't care about finding an interesting way to go to commercial. Neither do we.
Oh,
We'll be right And we're back.
And we are in the kitchen, I believe. Steven is cooking up some more of the lobster.
Again, I just want to say, the point that Nick had was saving the lobsters from being killed.
Mm-hmm.
And then throughout the episode, they're killing all the lobsters.
But Paul, that was old Nick. This is new Nick. New Nick is fine with killing lobsters.
All right.
Oh, I'll be right back, guys. Hold on one sec. Hold for editing real quick. Sorry.
Uh-oh. Oh, go.
Jelly beans?
Uh-oh. Corey, can you hear me?
Of course I can hear you.
Oh, what are you eating?
Jelly beans.
What are you, Ronald Reagan?
In honor of Alex B. Keaton. It's a very roundabout connection.
Oh.
See,
Corey, did you see the article about that they're doing a play?
Oh, I need for you to relax about this. They're doing a play. Finish the sentence. In Dayton, Ohio.
I don't care.
How do you go from Dayton, Ohio to anywhere else?
I'll go and I'll do it. I'll do it for free.
I thought I locked my wife out of the house, so. Yeah. Lobsters. Steven is making a lobster hot dog.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, isn't that called a lobster roll? That's a lobster roll, right?
Except I think he put an actual lobster, shell
In a
lobster.
bun. Right. But he was acting like it's this whole new original thing. So yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Okay, and so we find that. Oh, one thing we forgot to mention is that Nick is working at a shoe store now, and
Gleason Brothers.
Gleason Brothers shoe store. I can't believe I forgot the name of the guy after he repeats it a billion times. In the
Mr. Gleason.
Yeah, Mr. Gleason. Yeah. And so it's a big day for Nick because he's been promoted from the back room to the sales staff.
Right. And we find out that Elise is an architect again.
Yes!
Yes, we do.
She has her own
And we
little
also
corner again.
He's doing interested in going to see an art show.
Wait, who is?
Isn't she the one who wants to see an art show?
Oh,
No,
Mallory
that's
does.
Mallory, yeah. And really, when we think about it, the only reason Mallory probably wants to go see an art show is because it's something that she knows Nick would like.
Mm-hmm.
Or the old Nick would like. Yeah. So, we got that. I know. We're going to get through this. I see Paul shaking his head. It's like, we're going to get through this, man.
This is such a quagmire of an episode.
Paul, are you so happy that you had some caffeine before we did this and started talking about this show?
I mean, I feel like the way that my brain was malfunctioning, it felt like I should have written this episode, where things just weren't clicking in my head, and I didn't understand the way the world worked. I was constantly having headaches, and I feel like that's probably what it would feel like to be a writer on the show.
Yeah.
Except I wasn't making six figures. That's the only
Right.
That's the only difference.
Yeah. Because we cut to the living room, and there's another horrible joke of them falling asleep as Nick discusses shoes and rubber soles.
I mean, you know what? I'm starting to get angry. Now that you're recounting what's happening minute by minute, it makes me want to die.
Corey's been angry. You're angry.
And this, I agree with you. This is the low point of this show. And just when you think, up to this point, just when you think it can't get any lower, we go to the anal rape scene, which follows this. But and it is, I have so many issues with that scene, but I really have almost as many issues with this scene because it's so lazy, it's so boring. They go with Nick being an expert on shoes and lecturing the Keatons on shoes. Am I supposed to really buy that as something that really happened? Makes no sense.
It makes no sense for a topic of conversation. Yeah.
Moment of I don't like you. Then Nick is gone, and then they permit Michael J. Fox, who's insistent upon stealing focus while sleeping. He's like insistent, and they're insistent upon giving him focus. People are talking, and he's doing a sleeping shtick bit behind them.
Yeah, he's drawing focus from where the script is going in one direction, and he's pulling in a different direction.
Yes.
And he may have been trying to save this scene, but he should have known there was no saving this scene.
No. All right. So yes, we get through this. Mallory is fed up with Nick and doesn't want to see him, and storms upstairs. And then we cut to Corey's anal rape scene.
Now wait, I have to ask, Corey, was it actually this scene, or did someone put on Pulp Fiction midway through, and you just happen to wake up and be like, oh, okay, it's actually Pulp Fiction I'm watching?
I'm not speaking of a literal anal rape. I'm speaking of a scene in what appears to be a mall shoe store that has 40 extras buying shoes at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
They did this once before remember Mallory's dress store that she was in? They did the same thing in that one where they put in too many extras. The store's too busy. It's not believably busy. It just doesn't make any sense. And then you have poor Nick getting yelled at by Mr. Gleason. Then you have poor Steven schmuckily coming in, seeing that his conversation with Nick is putting Nick's job in peril. Now, I know he wants Nick to quit the job, but the fact still remains is he should be respectful of Nick. Talk to Nick when he's not working, not when he is working, because clearly you can see there's 40 extras clamoring for Nick's attention. And then as if that scene isn't bad enough, they have to go and have him climb a ladder and have some shoebox shtick with all the shoe boxes falling off. And then Mr. Gleason wanting him to put the shoe boxes back, and then having a gay subplot in this scene where Mr. Gleason thinks that Steven and Nick are having an affair. It's
so
rape.
It's horrific.
It is horrific.
Horrific. And the only, I think, of all of the like homo fear jokes of this scene,
Yeah.
the only redeeming value in it is that Gleason is either so accepting or gay himself. It's
I
like
was going with that.
But he was very, very gay friendly for 1985.
yeah, that's the only redeeming part of that whole terrible ongoing joke.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was so weird, the bit of when Nick is suggesting the woman's shoes to Steven, he's like, oh, yeah, okay, fine, I'll take it. Like, it was just so weird and strange and horrible.
This episode is terrible. It's the worst episode all season, and I feel like it's almost as bad. It's almost as bad as the bad episodes in season 3.
Okay.
It is. I thought it was a throwback to some of the bad ones. It's definitely, that's why
Here's the because every time we say we have a terrible episode, my new thing is let's find the good part. The good part for me in this episode, and I'll ask you guys after, is I think that what's his name? Whoever plays Nick, what's his name?
Scott Valentine.
Scott Valentine is a very good comedic actor, and I think he should be in a different show. What do you guys think? I thought he was good, and he was just given short shrift.
I'm going to agree with you. I think he was working really hard with what he had.
I agree also. In fact, the only thing I can say is he may be such a good actor. I mean, I'm not like raving about him as an actor, but he may be that good of an actor that he intellectualized it too much. And I thought he did okay. I thought he struggled sometimes with the Hannah Montana character that he was forced to play in this. You know, they have both worlds play two different parts, and it was like, I don't know, the whole episode was just so weak, so predictable, so awful that the biggest laugh I think I got was here at the last scene with the lobster chip cookies.
Oh
yeah.
But by that point I'd stopped taking notes already.
Oh, you know what? A little character detail that we got is that Steven, when Nick offers him a woman's shoe, this is where the whole gay thing comes from. But what was interesting is that Steven Keaton wears a size 13 shoe, which, holy guacamole.
Yeah.
Are we sure that that's a substantial man?
That's those Keatons, they have 4 kids for a reason, I guess.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, I think
at the beginning of this last.
Yeah, go for it, Corey.
This last scene, we go through a series of Michael J. Fox Nick, where he says the word Nick in various different clever ways.
That was actually Nick this knick-knack and yeah. I hope the Knicks are playing.
It was awful. It was another one of those examples of we have a joke, now we're going to say it multiple times.
And it was so shitty because it's like Mallory has, for all intents and purposes, broken up with her boyfriend whom she loved. And now Alex is going to do puns and make fun of her. What a shithead.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And again, he's responsible for this.
Yes.
It's crazy.
So,
yeah, we get to this last scene.
All the apologies happen. It's all bullshit. Everybody leaves. Alex is upset that Nick is back to his old ways and he's got his hair back and he's not wearing a wig anymore. Mallory and Nick hug and everything's going to be okay. Credits. Is there anything else you guys want to say?
I want to point this out. I think this is something good to establish.
Shoot.
When we say there's a horrible episode, I think it might be good to give our audience a barometer of where it lies on the spectrum of this series.
Oh, good idea.
So what would you – I think we all have – what is our absolute worst episode? I'm leaning towards Sweet Lorraine. the French lady one. That one was really, really bad.
Now, we always debate, and because they were early, we've picked them out of Ming and Sweet
True.
Lorraine.
True.
But what were the episodes in season 3 that really got us mad? Because I've already started blocking them out.
I have 2. But I will have to look at. I don't have the list in front of me.
Family Ties Vacation is obviously a very low point.
Ooh, I would say that might be the lowest point. If we're including that as part of the seasons, which we should, that is just god-awful. But at the same time, admittedly god-awful by the creators, it was just a quick paycheck.
Right. I think that this episode, it tracks as far as plot, so that's a thing in a pro.
Yes.
The problem is there's no humor.
Bad jokes.
And I don't care about the plot. I feel like this is probably the D+ category. D+,
Okay.
C-.
I'll give you that. Yeah, I think that's a good place to put this. Yeah. All right. Anything else, guys?
Oh gosh, no.
All right. Pulling up the credits here.
I look forward to, we are practically, guys, we're practically halfway through all of Family Ties.
I know. I can't believe it.
It's pretty exciting. I feel like maybe next episode or the episode after that we'll be halfway through.
Yeah. We should put it out to our viewers. How should we celebrate our halfway viewing?
The midlife crisis of Family Ties?
Yes. How should we celebrate?
That it couldn't be done.
That's right.
I'm halfway through finding out whether it can be.
We all thought at some point we're going to bail on this idea.
No.
I'm proud of us.
I found religion. I prayed that you guys would abandon this idea.
Even before we started taping tonight, Corey was like, we could always stop.
Corey's like, but it's not going to be fucking me that ends this.
I'm not going to start it. But
We're going to go down with sinking shit. Paul, you have described it as a suicide pact that we have made, and I think that's the most appropriate.
Yes, he has.
It's a suicide pact and it's a Mexican standoff at the same time. Where I'm not going to be the first person to pull the trigger of the suicide pact.
God damn it, I'm going to have a baby and I'm still going to fucking do this show.
Well,
it's going to be too bad. All right. Well, gang, be sure to rate and review our show on iTunes. And for questions and comments, email us at qualitytimewithfamilyties@gmail.com. Be sure to also follow us on Twitter for updates. We are at QTWFT. And you can follow each of us on Twitter. I'm at Follow Jones.
I'm at Paul Packler.
And I'm at Corpep.
And be sure to like us on Facebook. We'd like to thank our host and producer, Barbara Dillon at Fanbase Press. Fanbase Press is a comic book publisher and online community supporting other creators and fans through daily reviews, interviews, and podcasts that span the pop culture spectrum. Be sure to check out everything they do at fanbasepress.com. Also, Perry Adams, who beautifully performs the Family Ties theme song Without Us. Be sure to check out Perry's music at perryadams.com. Also, Brian Dillon, who created our fantastic drawing and artwork, as well as edits our show. Brian is the president and co-founder of Fanbase Press. Follow him on Twitter at Comic Book Slayer. And lastly, Sean Foster, Fanbase Press's graphic designer who designed our logo. Thank you, everybody, for sticking with this one, and we will see you next week.
Bye!
Bye.